Welcome, fellow travelers. My name is Bergund, and I'm joining Chibi and Vertek at the Golden Feather. Come on in, grab a seat, and let's share tales of adventure.
That being said, Bergund, how are you?
Wow, I am so good. I've had such a great month. A lot of things are going well in my life personally, but we just had a great month of testing, and I'm so excited to be able to join you all in the tavern and get a chance to talk about it. It feels like I'm a little starstruck because, all three PI testers, we're going to get into some things that I'm really excited to chat about. And the Iron Coin is going really well, and development has been going strong since the beginning of the year. And it's really exciting to present it and showcase it for everyone in today's episode. So thanks again for having me.
Of course, and welcome into all of these wonderful new adventurers who we are meeting for the first time. And for those of you that don't know, we have a new bard every week. And speaking of a new thing, you recently made Coin. What is Coin all about?
Yeah, so Coin is, for those that don't know, we are an all-cleric guild, and despite not knowing much, that's okay. And despite not knowing much about the pantheon within Ashes of Creation, we are devoted to faith, and Norlin is the patron god of faith of fate in Ashes of Creation, and so we are not only all clerics, we are devoted to faith in fate, and we have this really awesome mechanic that we are building up regarding iron coins. And so yeah, there's a lot to talk about, and if you're ready, I'd be happy to dig into it.
Yeah, before we do that though, Tilly is wondering, as a cleric, as an all cleric guild, are paladins welcome?
Paladins are respected for their faith, but they are not as devoted to their beliefs as an apostle. And an apostle is much more regarded in the Iron Coin. And but that is not to say that paladins aren't that paladins are looked down upon. We are respectful of their dedication. It's just let's call it 50% devoted compared to what I believe an apostle is.
Lloyd says that's subjective, wouldn't you say? And then Tilly says, looks like I must pray more. Also, real quick, by the way, thank you, Lloyd. I don't know if we said that yet. Thank you so much for the read over. We genuinely appreciate you. We've had Lloyd on recently as well. Lloyd is a good Lloyd guy. Both. Just look at his emotes. It speaks for itself.
Lude.
But yeah, thank you so much, and I'm very excited to see more of your videos. But Royer wants to know, cleric only, or cleric and whatever other archetype?
That is a great question, Royer. Yes, we are cleric primary mandatory, but the members of the Iron Coin, also known as Iron Coins, they are free to choose whichever secondary class that they would like. So there are 8 different types of cleric that Iron Coins can be, and that is, the bard version: cleric, mage, tank, ranger, summoner, and rogue, and then of course the cleric. So it's gonna be a really interesting time. Testing is gonna be very exciting for us in A2. But yeah, I would love to get into some of our value. Yeah. So
there's lots of questions. Sorry.
That's okay. I'm happy to answer those as well. But our core values, as we have them, are honor, purpose, courage, and faith. And those are represented by the honor of we are a Dunzenkel Dwarven Corps. But because we are devoted to faith, which is a represented by the patron deity Norlin, and Norlin is a Kaivek orc racial representation. We our honor as Dunes and Kel dwarves is also heavily nodded towards the Kaivek orcs, and so there is some future plans involved in which we will be accepting Kaivek orcs as members of the Iron Coin. And so this is a really unique opportunity that I'm very happy to take on, where dwarves and orcs work together. So breaking historical norms and representing and respecting the lore of Ashes of Creation in its own right. And so that's the honor side of things.
Okay.
The purpose that we have brought forward is this Iron Coin mechanic. And so we are a guild known as Iron Coin. Each one of our members are referred to as Iron Coins. And what this means is each member will be given a coin. And it's not going to be an in-game mechanic that we are going to be taking advantage of. This is more of a role-play introduction, but it has mechanical value to it. And what I mean is each member will be receiving something like a challenge coin, similar to how folks in the armed forces and or Alcoholics Anonymous or other versions of communities joining together, they receive coins to represent their membership and something that they can feel appreciative of in their lives. Mm-hmm. And so the Iron Coin will represent the member's individual experience as someone choosing to be a cleric with us. And there is a lot that comes with that. It's a great responsibility, and it's a great opportunity, I believe, within the Ashes of Creation design. But it also is a representation of our entire guild. And so the coin is a representation of us, is a representation of the entire group, because we will be handing these coins out to members on a very exclusive basis. Mm-hmm. Since each one of the members of the coin receives one coin, they will then be able to provide that coin to another individual within the server, and essentially that acts as a promise that they can return said Iron Coin to the member or to the guild, and we will fulfill a request, a deed of sorts. And so that a decree is really what it will be referred to as. And the idea is that I wanted to create value for this roleplay coin in game. And so how would that work? Oh, right, we are all clerics. So consider clerics in a siege confrontation, consider clerics in a war, consider clerics guarding caravans and or seeking out rare resources and or accomplishing tasks. There is a lot to look forward to, and there is a lot of value that comes from having an Iron Coin in the server that we will be a part of. And so, yes, there's the purpose of the Iron Coin. The courage is to be a group of all clerics, the courage to be a cleric with us. And yes, there are RP elements, but we are PvP centric and we love PvP. We are combat clerics. And so a lot of comparisons can be made to the Knights Templar or various groups out there in the world that are religiously based and prepared for combat. And so the idea is that we are just very excited by the courage that we are bringing. And all three of these is sort of alluding to our faith in fate.
Okay.
And so honor, purpose, courage, and faith is our values. And any questions?
Did you have
Sorry.
one?
I was muted. I was typing away at the keyboard for a quick minute there. But that's a whole lot of info. And there's probably way too many questions about all of that people might have just out of curiosity.
Yes.
But everybody definitely feel free to toss questions out. But couple questions I have to further on into the role play lore and like the general feeling of that is, has the guild chosen any specific designs or desires for specific biome or node type locations on where you're going to try to hunt for a home?
That is a great question. So because we are the Iron Coin, and there are RP elements involved with the crafting and artisan tree, we have incentivized our members to work with us, to think about mining, to think about weapons smithing, armor crafting, stone masonry, all the things revolving around metallurgy, even gem cutting. However, we aren't going to be so limiting that we make it mandatory that you have to only do that. I know that within the mechanics of Ashes of Creation, players are able to have master crafting profession, 2 different master crafting professions, and so our design is suggesting and incentivizing our players to work with metallurgy so that we can have sort of a divine connection to our artisan profession and connect ourselves to that experience through roleplay, but also it brings purpose and meaning to the experience and working with the mechanics of the game.
Nice.
And so with that all involved, iron is going to be sought after, and so because Fate is a orcish faith, we are actually pretty interested in moving towards the eastern continent. And I believe that is Vandegar, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. So
I could be switching those 2 around, so apologies if I got that one wrong. But
okay.
I would totally correct you, but I haven't memorized the map yet myself. So I'm going to assume that you are 100% correct. Yeah, because you're our guest, and our guests are infallible.
So, and to be more specific, we are very interested in the Frostgrave Fells, which is the snowy tundra area on the eastern continent. And I happen to have a huge affinity for polar bears. So it's all tying together. You see, we're getting there, you know?
Yeah, you folks can't see it because I did a zoom in on that lovely dwarven visage. But in his full image, he is actually riding on a giant polar bear. Actually pretty nifty.
Look at 1 year. Happy 1 year.
Cheers, Stixino.
Oh man. You.
But
thank you so much, Q.
Yeah.
So let's see. There must be some questions. What region of the world would the guild like to be in? Yeah.
I was gonna say Alluring and who was it there? Tilly both said that they'd throw a fit if it wasn't in a mountain and mountainous and snowy region. So you answered both of those in one sentence.
Boom.
Yeah, gonna be out there. Got to be in a place where you can get the diggy holes going.
Indeed. But yeah, we have a lot to get through, and we're all 3 going to try and share our thoughts within a smaller time frame in general, just because there's so much to talk about. But we'll try to, share perspectives as evenly as possible.
Gotta push through.
The last thing I would like to mention is that based on us being all clerics, our future goals are to provide a cleric school for the Ashes of Creation community at large. Nice. So seek us out. We're going to have a ton of information for everybody. And it is a very exciting time for the Iron Coin. And I welcome all clerics to give us a shot. So yeah, let's get into this.
So now you all know where to go to find out how to cleric.